Before starting Arduino to Inventor Journey, first we will develop our thinking, which is very important throughout the invention journey. So whenever we want to design any innovative product, or if we want to do any invention, or if we want to create something new for which we want to file a patent, or as a scientist, if we want to solve any research problem, in all these cases, first we need to understand our problem. Since the problem lies in nature or in the physical environment, so we need to understand our nature or the physical environment. And the best way to understand the nature or the physical environment is to observe the nature, either through our senses or through electronic sensor. If we observe through our senses, there are some limitations. Our senses are limited in capability. They cannot see everything in this universe. Many physical phenomena are invisible through our senses. Like if I talk about this electromagnetic spectrum, we can see only a small part of this electromagnetic spectrum in the form of visible light. And the remaining electromagnetic spectrum, like infrared rays, X-rays, are invisible through our eyes. Like if we see in this image, there is a person standing and there is lots of smoke. Let's suppose if we can see the infrared rays, then we can see through smoke. So from this we understand that not everything in this universe is visible through our senses. There are many phenomena which are invisible through our senses. So when we talk about solving the problem, it's not necessary always that a problem will depend only on those phenomena which are visible through our senses. It may be possible that the problem will depend on those parameters as well, which is invisible through our senses. But if we somehow detect those parameters using electronic sensors, then we can solve our problem from different perspective. So this way we can get a new product. So this is very important point you need to remember. So you have heard about nanotechnology. You know that many problems in this modern world are solved at nanoscale. We cannot observe through our eyes at nanoscale, but using specialized devices, we can see at nanoscale. So we have solved a problem from different perspective by seeing the problem from nanoscale. So now you understand that if we understand a problem from different perspective, then we can find a new solution for that problem. Astronauts or scientists uses full electromagnetic spectrum in order to understand our Earth, our solar system, and beyond the universe. Many physical phenomena are not visible through our eyes, so astronaut uses X-rays, infrared rays to see in the space. They uses full electromagnetic spectrum in order to reveal the secret of this universe. Our senses are limited in range. Like if I talk about this temperature sensor in nuclear power plant, then the range of this temperature sensor in nuclear power plant is very large. Our body cannot tolerate such a large temperature, but the temperature sensor in nuclear power plant can sense a very high temperature, very large range. As a scientist, if we are conducting any experiment which is very long and we want to do continuous observation, suppose our experiment is of 1 month or 1 year, then it will not be feasible for us to observe for 1 month or 1 year. In such a case, a better way is to use the electronic sensor for collecting the data. After that, we can analyze the data. Or if there are some parameters in the experiment which are hidden from our senses, then in such a case also, we can use electronic sensors. Let's understand this with the help of example. Suppose I want to find the efficacy of a drug for cancer patient. It means I want to find the best drug, best medicine for killing the cancer cell. So I have one cancer cell taken from the infected part of cancer patient body. Now in order to kill this cancer cell, I have several drugs. So here I have 4 drugs in order to kill the cancer cell, and I have one sensor. So what I will do is I will put cancer cell on this sensor. Now this sensor can measure the impedance. You know that impedance is the electrical property. So in order to understand this better, let's see one example. So this is photoresistor. Whenever light falling on the sensor changes, its resistance changes. So you will see that when I will put my hand over the sensor, the light falling on this sensor will change. So eventually the resistance will change in this multimeter. You can see when I will increase the brightness, the resistance changes. Or when I decrease the brightness, also the resistance changes. So in photoresistor, we have seen that when the light changes, the resistance changes. Similarly, here, the impedance changes when the cancer cell is killed by the drug. So what I will do is, I will combine the drug with this cancer cell. And whichever drug kills the cancer cell, there is change in impedance. Because whenever cancer cell is killed by the drug, the constant of the cancer cell comes out, and because of that the conductivity increases, and because of that the impedance decreases. So whichever drug kills the cancer cell quickly, there will be more change in impedance, and this we can detect using the electronic sensor. So this way we can find the best drug, best medicine for killing the cancer cell. So these kind of problem we cannot solve using our senses. But with the help of electronic sensor, we can solve this kind of problem as well. So I have explained this example in a very simple way, but in reality there are a lot of other things involved. Like we have to provide nutrition to the cell. So you don't have to worry. So I have taken this example just to inspire you, just to motivate you, so that you know what we can do using these sensors. So now you understand that sensor are used to convert a physical world into digital world, or with the help of sensor we can observe our nature, or with the help of sensor we can capture our problem parameters so that we can solve our problem. So in order to observe physical phenomena like temperature, magnetism, force, motion, image, light, sound, we have different electronic sensor. Like if I talk about temperature, we have semiconductor based temperature sensor IC, we have resistor temperature detector, thermistor, thermocouple, temperature sensor. For measuring physical phenomena light, we have photoresistor, phototransistor, photodiode. For detecting physical phenomena sound, we have microphone. For detecting physical phenomena force, we have force sensitive resistor. For detecting motion, we have passive infrared sensor. For detecting magnetism, we have Hall effect sensor. For capturing image or video, we have camera. So once we have converted our physical world into digital world using sensor, now we want to process that data. Just like we as human senses our physical world using our senses, and the brain processes that data. Whatever we observe in the nature, our brain processes it. Similarly, inside Arduino, microcontroller is like a brain which processes the data which we get from our electronic sensor in the form of electrical signals. So in order to process that data, we need to write a code written in language like C++. In case of Arduino, this code is very simple. So once we have processed the data using microcontroller inside Arduino, now we want to produce the output in the physical world. So in order to produce light, we have LED. In order to produce physical phenomena motion, we have motor. In order to vary physical phenomena temperature, we have heating element or cooling element. In order to produce sound, we have speaker. In order to produce magnetism, we have electromagnet. So whenever we want to share our data locally or through the internet, in such a case, we need some communication protocols, some communication hardware modules like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, USB, Ethernet, RFID, XP radios, and we have many other communication modules as well. Since our product is electrical in nature, so it requires some kind of electrical energy source like batteries. So we can use alkaline batteries, we can use lithium ion battery, lead acid battery in order to provide energy so that our product can run. Apart from this, we can use AC to DC adapter from our main supply from the home. The idea behind this episode is that when we study Arduino Uno, you will know why we have microcontroller, because we want to process the data which we get from the sensors. Why we have sensors? Because we want to convert our physical world into digital world, or we want to observe the parameters of the problem from the physical world so that we can solve our problem. Or in order to understand the nature, we have sensors. Why we have output devices? Because we want to produce output in a physical world. We have communication modules or communication protocols in order to share our data locally or through the internet like Bluetooth. We have power sources like batteries in order to provide energy to our product. So when we combine all these concepts, when we combine microcontroller, when we combine sensor, output device, communication power, then we will have a complete product. So in any product, you will see that we have all these things. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe and comment. And we will be meeting in next video. Bye bye.